We are live.
Yay! I am Old New Dude, and he is.
Richard York, Asher's Trueborn son. And we're doing Wins a Winner, Ariane 2 today.
All right,
Uh,
all fair use
give
laws
your
are in effect.
spoilers. Yeah, there you
Spoilers ahead. Yeah, all fair use laws are in effect. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't heard, watched the video on, read Aria 2, or not Aria 2, Ariana 2, wins a winner, you're in the wrong place. And I have a light bulb out my bedroom. I do not have one to replace it. So today, it's all natural light. Free
go.
natural
It's
light.
looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
Well, I did. I found out like 10 minutes ago when I came in here to get set up, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And then I'm like, "Well, it's a pretty sunny day, 97 degrees outside, so yeah, plenty of sunlight."
So this is in this chapter, Ariane gets to Griffin's Roost and is going to go on to Storm's End. And that's a very brief summary, but
Yep.
all right.
My
There
wife
is a
doesn't
spot
know,
before that.
but Ariana is top 5 characters that I would like to meet from a Game of Thrones. So don't tell her that.
I can see that you wouldn't necessarily want your wife aware of that.
Oh no, no. When we were younger, we would have that Chris, stop listening. That five top actors that you're allowed to date.
I
To go
see.
out on a date. I cleaned it up a little bit.
And you feel like you should have
25.
a
Yeah.
you feel like you should have a fictional characters on the list.
Yeah. At 56 years old and after 31 years of marriage, that list got crumpled up and thrown in the fireplace and has never been resurrected since.
Sure.
Although there are certain men that were on her list that if you mention, she will perk up. Like, what? What'd you say? So my list is gone, but I think hers is still there in the back of her mind. She just don't want to say it. But I
Fair enough.
am man enough to know when not to call your wife out on something and just keep your mouth shut. So I'm gonna keep
Fair
my
enough.
mouth shut. That's why we've been married for 31 years. I know when to shut up.
That was another lesson that her father had taken pains to teach her. Choose your side with care, and only if they have the chance to win. The late Walter Frey might approve.
Yeah, extremely. Well, he's not late yet.
There's a bunch of things in here that remind me of Arya and her dealing with the Riverlands, including buying horses and she has no problem buying horses because she can afford to pay 5 times their worth and so forth. But Arya didn't have that same luxury.
Right.
There's this. There's the rumors. So in the Broken Shield, Daemon Sand was told the great sceptry on the Hulf of Men had been burned and looted by raiders in the sea, and 100 young novices from the mother house on Maiden Isle carried off into slavery. In the Loon, Joss Hood learned that half 100 men and boys from the Weeping Town had set off north to join John Cunnington at Griffin's Roost, including young Sir Adam, old Lord Whitehead's son and heir. But in the aptly named Drunken Dornishman, Feathers, and it shocked me that it's Feathers, that she didn't use the 3 knights, that she used 2 of the knights, and including her most trusted, and then Feathers. I was really surprised by that. But it could be based upon the Drunken Dornishman being no fair place for a knight to be seen. I mean, the aptly named Drunken Dornishman, that kind of tells you that maybe it's not the kind of place you want to send one of your knights to.
Okay, I can see that. Or without her telling us, she knows how important Feathers is to her father.
Yeah, maybe
that's a maybe.
It does feel like.
Yeah,
it does feel like. Well, I mean, there's no question. Daemon Sand is the right hand man in this, right? He's clearly the number 2, and he's the one she has to pretend is number 1 when she doesn't want people to know that she's in charge, right? There's no question that's his role, right? So that's very clear. And Joss seems to be the number 2, the clear number 2 of the knights, of the 3 knights. He seems to be clearly the number 2 knight.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, my best guess is that aptly named Drunken Dornishman really implies it's not it's not very nice.
Well, I mean, in Feather's defense, having the Sir in your title opens doors that
Oh yeah,
not
sure.
having it. So having him be the number one when she doesn't want to look to be number one is understandable. Um, I still go with your original that it wasn't a
Yeah,
proper place for a knight. She sent feathers. Uh,
yeah.
but like I said, I would throw that maybe there could be more because George likes to have chapters where the characters, even though they know something, it doesn't make it to the page because there's not they avoid the opportunity for it to make it to the page and run around it when they have to keep it off the page. So
It could also refer to her confidence in this information or lack thereof. So here's the information. Feathers heard men muttering that the griffin had put Red Ronet's brother to death and raped his maiden sister. Ronet himself was said to be rushing south to avenge his brother's death and his sister's dishonor. So, some speculate that John might have created the rumor to make Ronet foolish. Um, maybe I'm skeptical that he would do that to his own reputation, but
right.
um, yeah. Anyway, hello, and evening, Kirsty.
Hey, Chrissy. Yeah, with as strict as he is with the Golden Company on what they're allowed to do. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I caught that little flick in the sound there for a second, but yeah.
That's what I was worried about. But
Yep.
as strict as he is with the Golden Company on what they're allowed and not allowed to do, as far as when it comes to the young ladies that they entice, possibly pay,
There goes again.
I doubt, and as prickly as it is, I doubt that he would even fake that information just to try to get his nephew or
I can't remember
cousin.
if it's his cousin. I think they
His dad.
say uncle nephew at some points in like in King's Landing in the epilogue, but I think he says
Mhm.
it's his cousin.
Yeah, I
And
think his
they do
cousin.
that a lot in the stories where people treat older cousins as if they were uncles. Or, there's a lot of references like that where people um, aren't necessarily using the correct term, and that happens in the real world too.
Yeah, of course. I remember growing up, someone we called the uncle that was a cousin. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. That night, Arianne
So
dispatched the first of her.
the beginning of that, the 100 maids or whatever that were taken. What was that?
Put it, heard men muttering that the griffin had put Red Ronet's brother to death and raped his
No, no.
maiden sister.
First night's what they had heard the first
Oh,
or second night.
the great sceptry on the Hulf of Men had been burned and looted by raiders from the sea, and 100 young novices from the mother house on Maiden Isle carried off into slavery. Yeah, that sounds like the Ironborn. They really did decide to start being slavers, and people complained about it, right?
Yeah. Now is it the Ironborn or is it Ariane Waters possibly finding a
Oh, it's
quick way to
possible.
make some money?
Yeah, that's possible. That could be.
And there is the rumors that Doran Martell has ties to the slave trade.
Right. That's green hand theory.
Yes, I've heard it somewhere else too, but the first time I heard it
That's the
was
first
with
time I've
Over.
heard it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that's been a hot minute too.
The night That night, Ariane dispatched the first of her ravens back to Dorne, reporting to her father on all they'd seen and heard, which I question because from her first chapter in this hello guys,
Hey,
from her first chapter in Winds, send a raven whenever you have news, Prince Doran told her, but report only what you know to be true. We are lost in fog here, besieged by rumors, falsehoods, and travelers' tales. I do not act until I know for certainty what is happening. So, like, what is she sending him here?
all of it's rumors. I mean, more
Yeah, That's why I'm like, her first raven is like a waste because he told her not to do this.
Hey, we made it waterside. How's your life going?
Well, there's
Talk to you
rumors.
later.
I can report to you the fact that there's rumors, but I still don't understand how that helps.
Yeah. I think the information that she gets from the lady of House Holt or what is it?
I don't remember. We'll get there. I can't remember. Mistwood or
I,
something. I don't know.
think the information from her would probably be a little bit more reliable than what.
Yeah, and
Which I
she
mean,
sends more
Davos,
ravens, and
yeah,
she
Davos,
learns important things, and she sends ravens.
yeah. Davos uses the same philosophy. Go hit some of the wine shops.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad to do that. I'm just saying this particular raven seems like a waste to me.
Yeah, I'd have waited just a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, as if they'd seen no signs of fighting, but all the other travelers along the rutted road seemed to be going in the other direction, and the women in the villages they passed gazed at them with wary eyes and kept their children close. So I mean, that's definitely sounds like Arya to me, or Brienne.
Right.
Huge
Which
willows
tells
grew along the water.
there's a storm coming. You just don't know what type of storm it is. Those people fleeing,
Right.
whether it's
Right.
Ironborn or Pirate Prince Arya, the Lord
She
of
still she
the
doesn't know what's going on. She still isn't sure. So still rumors. Still rumors. Huge
yeah.
willows grew along the watercourses, larger than any that Ariane had ever seen. Their great trunks as gnarled and twisted as an old man's face and festooned with beards of silvery moss. So we got trees with faces and beards. We're going to call it out.
Mm-hmm.
Even here and there, a wild weirwood. Right? I mean, he throws in these. He throws in with Brienne as well, right? Yeah, that's the. It's an Order of the Green Hand shirt, and that is what it means. Yes.
Yeah. They were the biggest yellers of top of the mountain, screaming at that Ned and Charlotte
Yeah.
Uncle John.
Yeah, and I do like that. I do like that interpretation for multiple reasons. One of which is that it seems like it's pretty common for Gene Wolfe to use that as one of his tricks to make books more readable. Is to use the ideas that he has you discard at the beginning, because humans are almost incapable of going back to the original ideas that they've thrown away. They take that as evidence that it's wrong, that it was the first. So he often does that, and Gene Wolfe is. It's one of George's two mentors for his writers workshop days. See the Asher's Trueborn Son YouTube channel and a less than 4 minute video on that. Anyway,
Eagle Eye viewers will notice that on my top shelf there used to be the Lego style Winterfell. Our cat had decided that was the perch that she wanted to run across, and it scattered all over my feet. So yay me!
I hope you took her favorite doll and ripped its head off.
That's the next thing one.
Oh no!
Exactly.
Obviously, you need to take its favorite doll and rip its head off. That's what always happens after that.
Yeah. King Christopher Mudd on here is my son. He's the one that put it together, and it'd probably be him that puts it back together. So I might go boo hoo, it fell off, but and I have I got no game on it whatsoever, no claim to it whatsoever. He was just nice enough to let me put it in here, and now he gets to put it back together.
The very Airstein green was kind of. Oh, I did want to say that with the wild weirwoods, we see that a lot with Brienne as well, right? And some of them are described as, I think some of them are just described as like saplings or something along those lines. So my point being that there really are these wild weirwoods ranging in age throughout the series, and yet there's people that seem to think that you can't, that they can't grow on their own and so forth. Whereas there's some evidence that that's not true. So I've heard this fandom.
Have you heard the theory where they're grafted to a human and then the human is buried or killed, and that's how they transport from the Isle of Faces to off the Isle of Faces?
New theory: Sweet Robin is a Bolton.
Without a doubt.
New theory: Sweet Robin is a Bolton. Secret Bolton.
Uh,
Honestly, Bolton, yes. Anyway, uh,
but yeah. I mean, and in that theory where they grafted part of a weirwood onto a person to transport it off the Isle of Faces, and then it goes somewhere and then it's planted either through their death or I don't remember the rest of the theory. And that's the theory of the weirwood faces aren't carved; they're the faces of the person that grafted the weirwood
it was
to their body.
sacrificed to form them or something,
Right,
to
right,
awaken
right. So
them or something like that.
young saplings of weirwoods that don't have faces. So I don't know.
Right.
That's not a one in the corner of that
Well,
theory.
and I've heard people say, "Oh, there's no such thing as weirwood paste because there can't be seeds from a weirwood. That's not how they." And I'm like, I think there's some evidence you may be wrong about this idea that I think David Lightbringer has made some comments along those lines, and
Well,
like,
I mean, I don't. They're. I believe it's all underground, like most of the theory. All the roots are connected. I just think the new
sure,
saplings are outstretched roots that poke up for one reason or the other.
sure.
Like they're the watchers of the MCU, and they just sprout just to where they have weirwoods in certain areas to view events. I don't know, but I think it's from the underground up instead of being by the wind or birds or
Right.
animals.
They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be growing up in order to get sunlight. They seem to, because some of the places where they come up are in caves and things, right? And so it doesn't seem like they grow up necessarily to get sunlight. That does seem to be a thing, right? This idea that they're not really they don't have green leaves, they have red leaves. Anyway,
It's a giant, and the weirwoods are its hair sticking out. I don't know.
anyway, or giant mushrooms and so forth. The very air seemed green. Although there actually is a plant that's called something crazy similar to like dragon blood or something, known for its like blood red sap. I can't remember.
Okay.
I have it in one of my notes. So maybe I'll look for it after, if I remember, look for it after the chapter. Anyway, I can't remember what it's called, but it's something about dragons and dragon blood or something. The very air seemed green was kind of an interesting line. You got that argument with the septon, which seems kind of ridiculous because it's like a Catholic priest arguing for Greek mythology. It's you know what I'm talking about. I know your reason. The septon is responding. No Dortishman ever stole away the daughter of two gods, right? And so the septon seems to put a lot of faith in this religion that isn't his, essentially, right?
Okay.
I just thought that was kind of interesting because it'd be like a Catholic priest arguing for that Greek mythology was real.
True.
All right. Black as pitch beneath the trees, where the moon was just a memory, was kind of an interesting line that sort of some long night foreshadowing.
Right, and also probably with the moon being a satellite and visions and all being reflected off of it, if the moonlight itself cannot pierce the canopy, then it can't see what's going on underneath.
Sorry, guys, I got to go. Hope I catch the full stream next time. Well, thanks for stopping by, and good luck with whatever it is that's come up.
Yeah, we appreciate just the minute you were here, or a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
thank you.
absolutely.
Tell a million people.
Or not.
Or not, it doesn't matter. We'll build.
See, you don't go too far. Some of these caves go very deep, and it's easy to get lost.
We've heard that somewhere before.
She was tired of such games. This is an interesting line as well. Nim and Tyene may have reached King's Landing by now, she mused. If not, they ought to be. 300 seasoned spears had gone with them over the Boneway, past the ruins of Summerhall and up the King's Road. So it does seem like they're supposed to go together.
Prince Oberon went with 200 also.
Well, yeah, knowing George probably the Spartans or something, but
yeah.
But it makes sense that they want to show just as much respect to if since you're taking a seat on the council, right? But
Yeah.
it's also interesting to me because that means that she probably didn't like infiltrate in separately, like Marcella um, and the two of them are all traveling together, right? So at least as far as Ariane knows.
Yeah, as far as she knows. I mean, if you're going to infiltrate the faith, you definitely don't want to be seen to outside eyes being buddy buddy with the one going on the council. So I fully believe that they separated in their travel. Now, granted, with all the people that are landing with the Golden Company and Ariane Waters, uh, the pirate Kosar, whatever, sailing would have been a bad idea. So she definitely traveled probably through Dorne together and then went on probably the closer they got to King's Landing by herself or with a small group to make
Possibly.
their way into the landing. I would assume before to where she has time to get set up.
And if you're trying to infiltrate, it might make sense that you would split off and go earlier and so forth as well, right? So maybe her not being aware of the exact details is not surprising, right?
Right. Well, I mean, is it Tyene? Which one? I don't remember which one's going into Faith, but I know she has blonde hair, like blue eyes. She doesn't look Dornish for sure. Um, uh, so her infiltrating and not being associated with Dorne would be pretty easy because she doesn't just scream Dornish when she walks into a room or a tavern or whatever. So that she has that going for her.
Well, and as a reminder of the trap that they're walking right through, right? So, which was probably worth mentioning. Lady Nim would have seen that it ended in disaster. So, anyway, so I guess Tyene must be the Septa then, right? If Lady Nim is leading. Anyway, or maybe I should say the novice, given the theory, right?
Yeah.
We definitely have a similarity towards this idea of someone needing that second marriage to get the swords and shields you need to win the civil war for Westeros, right? If she hopes to sit the Iron Throne, she must have Sunspear. If Quentin was the price for that, this Dragon Queen would pay it. What if she was a Griffin's End with Kyneton? All this about another Targaryen was just some subtle ruse. Her brother could well be with her. King Quentin. Will I need to kneel to him? Quentin would be king or he would not. I pray Daenerys treats him more gently than she did her own brother. Well, their own actions had similar results, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cave proved much deeper. So they realized that there's 3 passages, one so small that would have required them to proceed on hands and knees, which is unlikely to be the one that they would find her down anyway. So this is good logic, I think. We'll try the others first. Damon, come with me. Jeroboam, Joss, you try the other one. Right. So
now the small one would be the perfect one for Children of the Forest to be down.
Yeah, that could be, but it's unlikely that the person they're looking for, that Elio would choose it. Look how the stone's been shaped. Those columns in the wall there. See them? Faces, said Arianne. So many eyes staring. This place belonged to the children of the forest. 1,000 years ago. Our characters are often wrong. But we've talked about this before, but of course most of our stuff's more private now, so I don't know how much is still out there. But
I haven't finished going through them.
But anyway, the point is, in King's Landing, where the Targaryens used to rule, you have the dragon skulls underneath, right? So we got these solid remnants, possibly fossilizing, of the gods that used to rule, of the people that used to rule there, because they named their dragons after the gods. And then you've got in Winterfell, you've got these giant statues, and it's implied that they're giant if you look closely at the way they reach up to the knees and so forth, right? Um,
Right.
so you got these giant statues of the people that used to rule there,
Hmm.
and this was the children of the Forest's domain. And underneath here, we have basically possibly these are petrified weirwoods or something, right? It's hard to say, but
Right.
it's something along those lines that you've got these similarly you've got these essentially statues to their rulers below where they used to dwell and so forth, where their domain was.
Well, I mean,
Anyway,
you always get the imagery also, even with the dragon skulls underneath in the dark, that they're watching, that
there's
something is
spaces
watching
there's spaces
through
in
them.
all three.
Yeah, there's that somebody's using those eye sockets for.
And that is when they go down there, that they have the same thing. They have this feeling that they're being judged and watched by their ancestors and so
Yeah, they seem
it's
to have that
very similar.
perfect painting look, the painting where it just seems like the eyes are following you as you walk across everything
Yeah.
that imagery we get from dragons, the crypts, the weirwood faces have that same quality to it, but I don't think it's a trick of the light. I think that things are actually using the eyeballs to view what's going on.
Well, and once again, you have this female warrior type who's catching the blind white fish with her bare hands, which is supposed to remind us of Mira, right?
You also get the egret um, cave. I don't
Oh
think she
yeah.
catches a fish or anything, but she catches a
But wanting
wolf.
to stay in the cave too long, yeah, that's very similar. Died. There's some foreshadowing for Arianne or Elia or both of them. They discussed whether she would get ransomed and so forth. Do I have your sworn word, or must I send you back? I swear. Elia did not sound happy. On your father's bones. On my father's bones. That vow she'll keep, Arianne decided. She arguably breaks it immediately.
Yes,
Why would my father inflict her on me? Vengeance?
setting you up for failure.
Banners? asked Arianne. Gold. On the gatehouse and the keep. What device did they bear? None that I could see, but there was no wind. The banners hung limp from their staffs. That was vexing. The Golden Company's banners were cloth of gold devoid of arms and ornament, but the banners of House Baratheon were also gold, though theirs displayed the crowned stag of Storm's End. Limp golden banners could be either. So Preston theorizes that this could result in some sort of mix-up or them maybe bluffing about having the castle or something along those lines.
Now,
But
if
there's
they're
actually
bluffing about having the castle, then the theory of them having Edric Storm might lose a little credence because the people there at Storm's End love Edric Storm and would definitely have opened the castle for him.
well, I don't think it'd be that hard for them just to say that Stannis was seeking sellswords and sent us to help. And I mean, he was,
Yeah,
and they may have known that he was. So the fact that the Golden Company arrives, that nobody's expecting the Golden Company to be fighting for the Lannisters, right? And they're probably not expecting them to be fighting against Stannis and the Lannisters at the same time. So it's not like it'd be that hard for him to take this by guile.
yeah.
But
The only thing on that is with the reports of the Golden Company taking castles south of them in the Stormlands, which would kind of go against them working with Stannis. If they had gone to Storm's End first and said, "Hey, we're the Golden Company. We're 10,000 swords strong. We sent 8,000 north to be with Stannis." Of course, they probably don't know the exact goings on of Stannis. We sent 8,000 to where Stannis is. He sent us here to help garrison the castle and the Stormlands, blah blah blah. I mean, I agree they could have probably bluffed their way in, but
like I said, it wouldn't be that hard.
yeah, once they took all those other castles, that bluff would be harder and harder to do.
I don't know. These people seem like they're more loyal to the Lannisters than they are to Stannis. Pretty much everywhere around here.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that there'd be very many Ravens trying to make their way in. Is my point to this what was supposed to be a besieged castle until very recently.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
There's this pattern in the books of a besieged party where people of questionable loyalty show up, often led by a dead man. There's often a betrayal against the leader by a sworn sword or king's guard. You've got Theon at Winterfell, you've got Tyrion at the Blackwater, and you've got Cat in the Eyrie as some examples, but not the only ones. So the first person to swear his sword to Theon is Reek, and there's lots of people pretending to be people they're not in the story. No matter people who say that that's some sort of lazy theorizing. No. That is a constant pattern in the story. If you're not theorizing that there's lots of those that we haven't caught, you're not paying attention.
Right. And we know George loves the repeat.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tyrion at the Blackwater is pretty obvious, I think. But even Cat in the Eyrie, when they actually are concerned and not sure who's showing up and whether they're on their side when they finally get rescued, and then one of the sellswords who swore his sword to her service arguably sort of betrays her in a way, right? So anyway, but if you can't get that there's a king's guard and a person sworn to Theon that betrayed them, then I don't tell you. Anyway, were there other banners, silver gray? All the ones I saw were gold, princess. And so Mistwood was a seat of House Mertens, and the fact that they're not there makes her realize what's going on here. So, but she still stays hidden. It's a mistfall to see your master. Good answer. Come with us. Chain. We got Chain and Mud here. Now,
Chain is a very man.
Okay. Sergeants, Sir David whispered when he saw them. I've known their sort before. So that sounds like Barristan judging drinks, so maybe he's wrong. And who would them be? Lord Cunnington? The sellswords exchanged a look. The Halfmaester. It's him you'll find at the roost. Griffin's marching, said Chain. Marching where? Sir David asked. Not for us to say. Chain, hold your tongue.
Kind of sounds like Drinkwater and Archibald.
Yeah. She's Dorne. Why shouldn't she know? Come down and join us, ain't she? That is yet to be determined. She wisely doesn't argue with them. We are no thieves. We're forgers. We forged it. Have you been treated well, my lady? I've not been raped, if that's what you're asking. Some of the serving girls have been less fortunate, married or unmarried. The men make no distinctions. No one's been doing any raping, insisted young John Mudd. Cunnington won't have that. We follow orders. Some girls was persuaded might be. That sounds a lot like rape. If you should see this, Lord Cunnington, you tell him that I knew his mother and she would be ashamed. Perhaps I shall. Then that night she dispatched her second raven to her father. So this she knows, right? She knows that somebody claiming to be Cunnington really has taken this, and this old lady seems to believe that this Lord Cunnington is, well, she knew his mother anyway, so she seems to mud. Anyway, so there's her second raven. That seems a little more worthwhile.
Yeah, that was better than the first one.
Oops, I forgot to key up all of my notes here. Sorry about this. It'll take a second here. I think I got one more swap that I have to do too. All right. He is twice your age as serving me, and he cleans up bird shit for the maester. Elia, what were you thinking? We're only kissing. I'm not going to marry him. You never kissed a boy before? Others is a man, a serving man, but still a man. Did not escape the princess. Elia was the same age as she'd been when she gave her maidenhead to David Sand. Meek and mild and obedient, you said. Must I have chased that as well? You swore upon your father's bones. I remember. Meek and mild and obedient. I won't kiss him again. Anyway, as we said, it's debatable whether she's really breaking her vow or not there, but anyway.
Yeah.
The princess let him talk, from time to time prompting him with a laugh, a touch, or a question, pretending to be fascinated. She knew more than she would ever need to know about Mud's skill with dice, two swords, and his fondness for red-haired women. The time someone made off with Harry Strickland's favorite elephant, Little Pussy, and his lucky cat, and the other feats and foibles of the men and officers of the Golden Company. But on the fourth day, in an unguarded moment, Chain let slip a "once we have Storm's End." So she lets that go without comment. This griffin is a bold one, or else a fool. Storm's End was said by some to be impregnable. Arianne had heard men argue about which was the strongest castle in the realm. Some said Castle Rock, some the Eyrie of the Arryns, some Winterfell in the frozen north, but Storm's End was always mentioned too. So that's a interesting list to have in mind, right?
Right.
She told Sir Damon what Chain had said. The bastard Godsgrave seemed as perplexed as she was. Storm's End was still held by men loyal to Lord Stannis when last I heard. You would think Cunnington might do better to make common cause with another rebel rather than making war upon him too. Capturing a few minor castles whilst their lords and garrisons are often distant wars, that's one thing. But if Lord Cunnington and his pet dragon can somehow take one of the great strongholds of the realm would have to take them seriously. Some of those who do not love the Lannisters might well come flocking to their banners. That night, Arianne penned another short note to her father and had feathers send it on its way with her third raven. All right. Led by the most exotic. Okay, Aaron's company is met by a column of sellswords down from Griffin's Roost, led by the most exotic creature the princess had ever laid her eyes on, with painted fingernails and gemstones sparkling in his ears. Arianne chose one of my favorite chapters to think about going into the Winds of Winter. Yeah, it's definitely, especially the Son of Mar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot.
It's a lot more meat on this one than on her previous one. Yeah,
For sure.
the Son of Mar spoke the Golden Company very well. Common tongue very well. Sorry, I have the honor to be the eyes and ears of the Golden Company, Princess. You look like a woman. He laughed. That I am not. Like a Targaryen, Arianne insisted. Pale lilac hair, a waterfall of white and gold. Something about him made her skin crawl. Perhaps it's a good thing that Viserys is dead. I am flattered. The women of the House Targaryen are said to be without peer in all the world. And the men of House Targaryen? Oh, even prettier, though if truth be told, I have only seen the one. Fear you have missed Lord Cunnington and our young prince. Off at war, off to Storm's End. Just so. Wearing an emphasized shirt takes a bit of courage too after the Bad King play. I don't think it takes that much courage.
We're strongly in the corner with Moon Man that most of the play, even the stuff George contributed, were to facilitate the show. So if it's a theory that is connected to the show, which is different than the books, then George would still have to weave the theory, making it.
You're not going to confuse your audience with Ned and Ashara equals John. That's not how you're going to go.
Yeah, I mean, George said plenty of times, shows show, the books, and granted,
he's also laughed at his own statement.
Yeah,
he also ridiculed that statement, which was, you can find his post where he says it, and then you can find his post where he laughs at it. So, anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't put a whole lot into the play.
Is it true that you have elephants with you? A few, said the Son of Mar with a smile and shrug. And dragons. How many dragons do you have? One. Oh, what you mean the boy? Prince Aegon is a man grown, princess. Can he fly, breathe fire? The sunny laughed, but his lilac eyes stayed cold. So that definitely reminds me of Brown Ben.
Right. And Littlefinger.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Bittersteel is half dragon and all bastard. I'm no maester, but I know some history. You are still sellswords. We prefer to call ourselves a free brotherhood of exiles. As free brothers go, your company stands well above the rest, I grant you. But the Golden Company's been defeated every time it has crossed into Westeros. They lost when Bittersteel commanded them. They failed the Blackfire pretenders. They faltered when Malus the Monstrous led them. That seemed to amuse him. We are at least persistent, you must admit. And some of those defeats were near things. Some were not. And those who die in near things are no less dead than those who die in routes. Prince Durand, my father, is a wise man and fights only wars that he can win. The tide of war turns against your dragon. The Golden Company will no doubt flee back across the narrow sea as it has done before, as Lord Cunnington himself did after Robert defeated him at the Battle of the Bells. Dorne has no such refuge. Why should we lend our swords and spears to your uncertain cause? Prince Aegon is of your own blood, princess, son of Prince Rhaegar Targaryen and Ellie of Dorne, your father's sister. Daenerys Targaryen, this line is really interesting. Daenerys Targaryen is of our blood as well, daughter of King Aerys, Rhaegar's sister, and she has dragons, or so the tales would have us believe. So Toodles thinks that Oberyn is the Mad King's bastard and that Arianne is Oberyn's bastard. So anyway, not that it isn't true that there's definitely Targaryen blood in the Dornish through Daenerys Targaryen, right?
Right.
But so yes, Daenerys Targaryen is of our blood as well. Could be a reference to her ancestor for that matter. But anyway.
But how many generations do you no longer get to? It's a name.
Right. It makes more sense if it's recent, right? Right.
Right.
Anyway.
It's like the Corlys Velaryon in House of the Dragon when it came to Lucian. What was the second son's name that was supposed to inherit Driftmark that died as Stormwind?
No, you giving me the wrong name there. No, that's not.
Yeah. He didn't care about the blood. It was all about the name. That's all history.
No, not Luke. He's talking about Rhaenyra's first husband and actual husband. She's a bigamist.
No. I'm talking about the son.
Oh, you are?
Lucian. Yeah. The son that died. Before he died,
okay.
all Corlys, when he was talking to his wife, cared about was the name. He had the Valyrian name. That's all history is going to remember. He didn't care about blood, so it's the name that people.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So having a generic
combining the two is combining the two was a good move. Getting them to marry into the family so that you had both the blood and the name. Fire and blood. Okay. Where is she? Half a world away on Slaver's Bay. As for these purported dragons, I have not seen them. In Sivas, it is true the dragon is mightier than the elephant. On the battlefield, give me elephants I can see and touch and send against my foes, not dragons made of words and wishes. The princess lapsed into a thoughtful silence, and that night she dispatched her fourth raven to her father. Chief amongst them was an older man with a lean-lined, clean-shaven face who wore his long hair pulled back into a knot. This one is no fighter, Arianne sensed. Lyseni confirmed her judgment when he introduced the man as Holland the Half-Maester. I know you seek Lord Cunnington, and he desires work with you as well, most urgently. Please you, on the morrow there will be a ship to take you to him. Where? Demanded Arianne. Has no one told you? Storm's End is ours. The hand awaits you there. Although the thin and hard as a dagger cut, it's kind of interesting. Anyway.
Right.
Safer way to Storm's End is overland. Trains have turned the roads to mud. The journey would take 2 days, perhaps 3. A ship will have the princess there in half a day or less. There's an army descending on Storm's End from King's Landing. You'll want to be safe inside the walls before the battle. Will we? Wondered Arianne. As part of the thing is he's trying to get her into the walls before there's a battle outside of the walls. So I'm not really buying Preston's theory that they're somehow faking this, but anyway, I don't think that's what's going on. I don't think it's going on.
I mean, they have a portcullis or iron bars underneath where Davos sailed in with Melisandre and came in with the onions and everything. So even you can still make it in the cave if that's where they're going. You just can't enter the castle unless you do away with the bars, or if there's iron gates. I think that were chained. So those would have to be open for you to get in the castle. If you don't have the castle, those won't be open. So if they're telling her they're going to take her to Storm's End, and they don't take her to Storm's End, then that's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Going overseas seems so dangerous too in this season. Muddy
Yeah,
roads are
and
now. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
uh, yeah, I tend to agree.
Yeah, I feel like he really is in a rush to get her inside the walls. Yeah.
That means that
I'll-
if it's a 2 or 3 day travel, that means that if there is an army and people are using that knowledge that there's an army to decide what Mace Tyrell has done in King's Landing, as far as Marjorie's trial has gone. Um, so if it's 2 to 3 day travel, the army coming your way is within a I can't even talk 2 to 3 day travel. So I mean, is it true the army's coming and that's why they're doing this, or are they trying to pull a fast one?
I think they're telling the truth personally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not fine with that.
You'll want
I
to be
got the
safe
skin.
inside the walls before the battle. Will we? Wondered Arianne. Battle or siege? She did not intend to let herself be trapped inside Storm's End. Battle. Prince Aegon means to smash his enemies in the field.
That does seem to play into what we know about this prince. Smashes foes in battle.
Oh yeah.
He's got the arrogance of youth.
Brother is not at Storm's End. We know that now. If Daenerys Targaryen has dragons, they are half a world away and of no use to Dorne. There's nothing for us at Storm's End, Princess. If Prince Doran meant to send you into the middle of a battle, he would have given you 300 knights, not 3. Do not be so certain of that, sir. He sent my brother off to Slaver's Bay with 5 knights and a maester. So Arianne understands the danger their father puts his children in. And Preston has argued that that's what war is, right? That you do send your children off to die when you go to war.
Right.
Arianne may not have a lot of time at Storm's End before the battle to talk, huh? Assuming she makes it there. If Aegon means to break the siege before it can form, that's going to happen pretty quick. Yeah, that's the idea, right? That they really are in a hurry. I want to see this dragon prince of his. If he is truly Elia's son, whoever son he is, if Cunnington challenges Mace Tyrell in open battle, he may soon be a captive or a corpse. Tyrell is not a man to fear. My uncle Oberyn. She gets interrupted, but I think the implication here is that Oberyn has judged Mace as not exactly competent and
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to have that opinion.
Yeah. Mace isn't the problem. Randall Tarley is, as long as he holds his fealty to House Tyrell. If he switches sides,
if it is Cunnington.
Yeah.
If it is Cunnington. Anyway.
He said 2 or 3 times in that small council meeting.
Yeah, at least twice, yeah. How many men have died in battles they believed that they could win? Refuse them, princess. Do not go to Storm's End. What makes you believe they will allow me that choice? She had the uneasy feeling that Held Halfmaester and the son of Mar were going to put her on that ship come morning, whether she willed it or no. Better not to test them. Yeah, pretend like you're in charge when you're not.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about the end. I mean, Father entrusted this task to me, not you. Come tomorrow, I sail to beard the dragon and its dead. All right. So I think we're just going to do the actual chapters that we have full chapters on. So we're going to go to Barristan and then Tyrion, and then we'll be done. I don't know, unless you really want to talk about some of these half chapters and summaries and things.
Yeah, well, I mean, like these chapters are subject to change. If it's not been kind of thrown out there uh, righteously, I don't know if I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on them, really.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Spend a lot of time on
And
something that's just like a summary is, eh.
yeah, we're doing a summary of a summary.
Yeah, that seems kind of silly.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
I
in that
mean,
case, let's do Barristan
yeah,
because we've got Barristan's first chapter. The Tyrion 1 chapter is actually Tyrion 2 because there was a reading of the Tyrion chapter before that when Tyrion shows up. He's playing Syvas with Brown Ben and Victorian shows up. New. Because what we have is Barristan 1 that we have a real chapter of, and Tyrion 2 that we have a real chapter of. We'll do the Barristan 1 first. It probably it's debatable whether it goes Tyrion 1 Barristan 1 or Barristan 1 Tyrion 1 anyway, and then where Victorian 1 fits with relationship to them. So, but it's
right.
not. But there's no. There doesn't seem like there's much question at all that if you're going to do the full chapters, you're going to do the Barristan 1 because it's Barristan 1 where the other Barristan chapter is after that, and that Tyrion 2 would then be after that one.
Right.
So Barristan's next.
Yay.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, there was something I wanted to look up, but I forgot what it was.
Was it something with blood or tree sap or?
It's been a fun discussion. Oh yeah. Yes, so it was. You're right. You're right.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's
we're
just
not familiar or are better educated on the source material, as some channels are, but we appreciate everyone that does pop in.
absolutely.
We're needy like that.
Um, what is the name of the tree with blood sap? Right.
You're using Bing, right?
Yeah, because I screw up.
Oh, you are?
Okay. Yeah, I am. Dragon blood tree. The dragon blood
I
tree.
was making
That's
a
what it
joke,
is.
and it was true.
The dragon blood tree. Dracani cinnabari. There's some other relatives of that Dracani stuff too.
Dragon blood tree, yeah. That Dracani sounds a whole lot like Dracaris.
Uh huh. Okay, so let's go to Wikipedia and find this tree.
Dragons and weirwoods tied, confirmed.
The Socotra dragon tree or dragon blood tree. A dragon tree native to the Socotra archipelago, part of Yemen, located in the Arabian Sea. Named for its blood red sap, the national tree of Yemen. The dragon blood tree was an upturned, densely packed crown. Has an upturned, densely packed crown. Yeah, when you look at pictures of it, you're like, and I think it even turns red. I think it may actually be a nice red in the fall kind of thing.
On the leaves or the bark?
I mean the leaves, yeah.
Okay.
Or at least some of the Draconi maybe are. Maybe it's not that one. Uh, anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting that there actually is a dragon blood tree with blood. Yep. Um,
Oh, what if dragons were actually created using weirwoods? The name of the tree being Draconi, and the word for fire at High Valyrian being Draconis or Dracaris, tells me that George did a lot of research into trees before he started
yeah,
his book. So if
yeah,
there is a dragon blood tree, and there is a mysterious way that dragons were created, which fireworms and wyverns and some mixing going on. What if the glue that we've been looking for that put it all together and held it into a creature that didn't just automatically die or wither away like you melt was weirwood paste, or not weirwood paste, but weirwood sap.
Uh,
Yeah, I know it's kind of out
yeah,
there.
this. Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely the case that he was probably researching this kind of thing, right? Or he was aware of them. Um, leaves are found only at the ends of its young branches and shed every 3 or 4 years as new leaves simultaneously mature. So you wind up with the leaves all being at the end, right? Sap used for red lacquer, quace masks as a lacquer mask. Okay.
Okay. Nice catch.
Will you ever elaborate more on the Valerian blood mages? She hinted were a high status cast. Yeah, interesting.
I don't
It's a
know.
cool connection.
Valyria is supposed to be this mysterious Atlantis type thing. I doubt we're going to get a whole lot of information when it comes to Valyria.
Chinese uses.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
Nah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm having
Good for now.
after seeing the carnage of the cake or the cat and seeing what has to be done to fix this mess. It kind of put me in a bad mood. Not gonna lie, I'm in a
Yeah,
mood
I
to
can
give
see
me this
that.
whole
I can
time.
see that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Vampire of the Dawn, maybe in
Winterfell, that
Montaris.
top is just was like
On the team. Well, they're talking. We're talking about whether or not we'd ever see any more in this, right? Vampire of the Dawn, maybe Montaris and the Demon Road, if Danny ever uses it. When dragons die, their spirits went into the trees. Oh, interesting.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that he's probably that he's linking the Weirwoods with the Dragon Blood tree, this idea that the dragons and the Weirwoods could be linked. Yeah, that could be. That's a good point. Anyway, all right,
Well,
let's wrap up.
our view on that would be Bran, most likely, or something that Blood Raven. Maybe that's what Blood Raven meant when he said that you could fly. Was actually in a dragon. He didn't consider ravens or anything like that. But the magic of a giant dragon. I know it's pretty much probably flying through time, but I mean, it's just nice to think of a connection between werewolves and dragons.
Well, I mean, he does take him to take over ravens, right? And he talks about
Right.
So
well,
anyway,
he said you can't walk. You won't walk, but you'll fly. But he walked with Hodor. Maybe he
he was already walking. So yeah, that's a good point. That tree's actually about a dragon and elephant battle.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Interesting. The Chinese, the ancient Chinese. Here. Anyway, all right. Well, we're going to be back on. We've been going through Mark G171's Legend of the Dragon Blood Tree. Okay. We've been going through Mark G171's write up on Lemongate recently on our Wednesday streams, and we'll probably stick there and diverge as greatly as we often do. And then it's more of a framework for discussion than a deep analysis of his write up.
Well, I mean, reading somebody's stuff, sometimes like that light bulb goes on top of your head for something completely different.
They have a different interpretation of something than you did that makes you go, oh yeah, interesting. And then we'll do Barristan's first chapter on Friday. That's the current planned schedule anyway. Legend makes me hope we see the did you see elephants? Golden Company elephants, yeah.
That would be nice.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
we're right here at our hour time.
The 100-headed dragon in Greek mythology, the tree is tied to Hercules' elemental labor. Hercules had to fetch golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides, which was guarded by Ladon, a fearsome, probably another comment.
All right.
100-headed dragon. Yeah, there it is. That's one legend. All right. Anyway.
With the knowledge.
Thanks, Kirsty. Yes, thanks, Kirsty, for dropping knowledge bombs as you often do. And
every
see you next time.
multiples. All right, we appreciate it, everybody. Thank you, and we're right there at our hour time. So we'll see you Wednesday for Theory Hour. Y'all have fun, and hopefully you have a good week. And we'll see you later. Bye, Richard.
Come on.